Hey, I'm here with Joe of Reencle, and we're just checking out some of those. Well, why don't you tell me a little bit about it?
Yeah, so these are our home composters.
Mm-hmm.
So we have residential units, and then
Mm-hmm.
we also have our commercial mega wrinkle.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll show you what's going on in there in a
Yeah.
moment. But basically, it's a technology that simulates like a backyard tumbler.
Okay.
It just optimizes the environment
Mm-hmm.
by maintaining the heat and the oxygen flow
Okay.
so that the microbes can operate at their optimal level
Uh-huh.
with reproduction and metabolizing
Yeah.
to break down the food waste. So when you get started with one of our units, it comes with a compost starter pack
Mm-hmm.
that's full of microbes,
Okay.
has some activated carbon in it, also
Mm-hmm.
some wood chips
Uh-huh.
that help get the help establish the bacteria.
Yeah.
So you'll put that in the unit, add water,
Yeah.
and let it start to establish. Probably 4 to 8 hours is what we usually recommend,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can start feeding it.
Yeah.
And then you just feed it all your food waste. The only food waste that we recommend that you don't put in
Yeah.
is like bones and pits.
Yeah.
Not that it won't decompose them, it just takes a long time, and they can also break the paddles.
Yes. Yeah. I see that.
Yeah, but 90% of it will be breaking down in 24 hours, but
Okay.
you don't remove it at that point because it's
Uh-huh.
not full yet.
Uh-huh.
And so in here, I don't know if you can see this on the
Yeah.
camera, but there's basically a
Good shot.
minimum line
Okay.
and a maximum line.
Okay.
When it reaches the maximum line, you just empty that little bit down to the minimum,
Okay.
and then you will take that and you can either use that immediately as a mulch,
Okay.
or you would use it, you'd mix it and let it cure with
Yeah.
soil for about 3 weeks.
So it's not finished compost what comes out of there, but
No,
it's like
it's like so the scientific term, like when we've done lab tests, they'll say it's a moderately unstable compost.
moderately unstable.
So it
Okay.
needs a little more time to stabilize. So the
Uh-huh.
chemical and
Yeah.
metabolic processes are
Yeah.
are completed.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's a great way to be able to handle food waste
Mm-hmm.
without some of the, a lot of people don't either have the space for backyard compost, or they don't want to, they think it's gross, so they don't want to mess with it. I don't. I mean, my hands are in my food and
Yeah.
whatever all the time, but it's good for the average household.
Yeah.
But this is our newer unit. Basically, it just has 50% more volume. This was 2 pounds a day. This was do about 3.3 pounds.
Uh-huh.
And then this one also is a little more energy efficient, and it also has Wi-Fi, but we won't release the app till later this year, so that you can remotely manage, like you can see how much weight is in it, how much it's been opened, some
Yeah.
of those things. So that's kind of the basic of it. And then our commercial unit is just the same technology, just at a much larger scale.
Yeah. And this is from Korea, right? Where it's they have a lot of
Yes.
organics recycling going
Yeah,
on there.
so they've been, basically Korea has almost 100% food waste diversion.
Uh-huh.
And our company started with our residential unit in Korea in 2019.
Okay.
And so it's pretty mature technology. It's proven in the market that it works. And Korea, unlike the US, their problem is they just have too much compost now.
Okay.
They're looking at other things like biogas and biochar, different things that they can do, because they have so much compost that they don't have the space to use it. So
Interesting.
unlike the US, we still have plenty of
Yeah.
land and farm space that could
Yeah.
really utilize some good compost.
Okay.
So
Yeah. Well, thanks for showing me this.
Yeah.
I guess.
This is cool too. If you see
Yeah.
this, we fed this 4 bags of food waste and single-use compostable items yesterday,
Uh-huh.
and within 20 hours,
From the conference here. The
yes,
compost conference.
yes, right here at the conference, and we've been feeding it some stuff. I mean, you've seen orange peel in there, but this is, you can see the food waste has been all broken down from the day before.
Yeah, there's like an orange peel that I can see, but yeah,
I did
don't
that.
see any sandwiches or
Nope.
yeah.
None of the sandwiches, the breakfast
Okay.
burritos, all gone. Yep.
Cool. Well, thanks for giving me a little tour of your booth and the products. I think it's yeah. I mean, we all know there was like a little controversial going on, whether or not you could call it compost or not, what's coming out. But I'm looking at this from the food waste reduction angle, and I think that's how if we can get people to be become more in tune with how much food they're actually wasting by separating organics at home, then we will get people to eat the food, and that is, in the food waste recovery hierarchy, or that scale that they have, that's way above composting.
Oh, yeah.
Eating the food.
It's-
And yeah, we have like a lot of habits that where we just gotten used to throwing good food out, and I think this is something. I mean, yeah, it's like in a way it's a gadget, and it's not like as simple as a tumbler in your backyard.
Right.
But my motto is to make compost mainstream, and I think we need to we need to pick up all the people, and I think that's part of the puzzle to do that.
One of the cool things too that we're seeing with our customers,
Yeah.
both our residential customers and
Mhm.
our commercial, is that people who have never grown anything before,
Mhm.
like literally if you visit our Facebook group and see
Yeah.
all the conversations going on there, we have master gardeners to beginners, and people are like, well, I have this compost, like, what can I do with it?
Yeah.
And so they're starting to learn to garden. It's really cool.
Right. Yeah.
Kids at our schools that we have, the units, we've asked them, like, are you going to use compost to grow your vegetable, grow
Yeah.
something? They're like, yeah, this would be really fun.
Yeah.
And even with our commercial units, they're going in places where now these office complexes, they're like, oh wow, we wanted to get a rooftop garden started for our employees, and now we have the compost to support it. So
Yeah.
it's kind of cool. So beyond just also exposing people to composting and making it easy for them, they're becoming growers, which is truly a huge benefit to
Yeah, it's healthy, and also these things, if you have in your house, they're absolutely rodent proof.
Yeah.
This is like integrated pest management. It's like if we're keeping the organics out of our waste, then the rodents can't even get to it in the first place. So I think that's also a great aspect that might be overlooked.
Yeah, there's some people that
yeah.
rodents will.
Yeah. Well, I guess so. The summary or the conclusion is, I like these units. It's not 100% finished compost, so we got to be mindful of like what compost is and what's not. But I guess in the grand scheme of things, these things belong into fighting food waste.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
another tool that can adapt to somebody's lifestyle.
Yes.
And that to me is extremely important, because
Yeah.
if try to fit, round pegs in a square hole, sometimes it always work.
No,
but
you're
if
absolutely
somebody
right.
has the
Yeah.
like you said, the gadget effect, that might be like, oh, now it's fun.
Right.
So
Yeah,
it's-
and this is like also like a gateway. I could see someone starting with this and then eventually having a tumbler in their backyard too.
Well, yeah.
It's like you first need to get unlocked.
You get
So,
exposed
yes.
to it. Like we have some that have now migrated to this, supports their their vermiculture.
Oh yes. Yeah.
Using vermicomposting.
Yeah.
And then we have others that are in colder areas. Well, I actually talked to a woman recently in Connecticut who has bear problems.
Okay. Oh,
So she
yeah.
does normal composting, but
Yeah.
she can never put in like
Fresh stuff.
fresh
Yes,
stuff
I
or
get it, yeah.
proteins or
Yeah.
carbs, that kind
Yeah.
of. So now she does this before she puts it in her
Yeah,
outside.
so once it's like
So it's a tool.
moderately stable.
Our winter customers
Yes.
too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they'll be like, you know what, I use Reencle in the winter, and then I use my tumbler in the summer.
Well,
So it's kind of,
yeah.
it helps in those situations too.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
And enjoy the compost conference.
Great, you too.